Now it's time to get the second barrage of heats underway for Senior Rotax. Here's your starting grid. For Senior Rotax, Heat 3, Groups A versus D. Jedintine and Austin Lee on the front row. It's an all-British row too, with the pride of Scotland, Lewis Gilbert, and Ethan Jeff Hall, last year's Euro Trophy Junior Champion on row 2. Teresa Babichkova and Robbie Stauder, row 2. Luke Neeson and Matthew Higgins, row 4. Tommy van der Stoys and Mika Barthélemy complete the top 10. Then it's Mitch Haynert, Damian Rost, Jamie Perrelli, Kamal Murad, Lachlan Robinson, Zach Scowler, Days Dams, Mario Sidler, Atyom Sestikovs, Kaz Boshouse rounding out the top 20. Stain Scholten, Christoph Sala, Scott Westhovens, Jaren Schultz, Tonis Johannes Tomingas, Antoine Mahler, Gussi van Gogh, Alexander Savinkov, Chloe Kennard, Rafael Jesus, Iva Anagnostiidis, Andrea Kostic, Benoit Tordema, Simsep, Arthur Caro, and Tristan van Vliet. All drivers now heading on to the official formation lap as the red lights ignite on the starting gantry once again. 7 minutes plus an additional lap on the timer. This is the second set of heats. Well, drivers will be now competing in their second of 3 heats, with the top 30 going through automatically to tomorrow's pre-final and final. At the end of today, those top 30 will progress. We'll then have the 36 drivers after them go through into the second chance heat. So after today, 6 drivers will be more than likely heading into the B final tomorrow, late morning. But the 36 that will make it through from 31st to 66th will be put into the second chance heat, and the top 6 will then go through to the final stages of the race weekend. Revs rise. Are we ready? Are we steady? Heat 3 for Senior Rotax gets underway first time. Jaden Thien leads the field going into turn 1. Lewis Gilbert to the inside. Austin Lee to the outside of Jaden Thien. And Lewis Gilbert has got the race lead. And Jaden Thien has got an instant problem. And he's started whacking the engine with his right fist to get it going again, to sort of kick-start it. And he lost a lot of positions. Jaden Thien is in the mid-pack of the field, and that is a very dangerous point. Oh, hang on. Jaden Thien is slowing. Jaden Thien is slowing on the back straightaway down the Yudderpalan, and that is it. And he's absolutely frustrated. You can see him hammer-fisting the pipe that connects to the left-hand side of the engine, and Jaden Thien's body language says it all. Disappointment after a race 1 victory earlier on today. Yet now that has changed everything, but there is a scrap at the front of the field. Lewis Gilbert has got Austin Lee and Ethan Jeff Hall for close company. It is side by side at multiple points up and down the grid. And there are some real close dogfights. Matthew Higgins has made his way into the top quartet. And now Lewis Gilbert is just one driver from CAF Motorsport. He's got a trio from Strawberry right on his case. Ethan Jeff Hall opens up the door. That allows Austin Lee to get through, and Matthew Higgins. Ethan Jeff Hall now drops to 3rd. Lewis Gilbert down to 4th position. It only had to take one driver to open the door. I'm not too sure whether Lewis Gilbert might have had a slight issue, not from Ethan Jeff Hall making the move, but whether there was a problem as a result of him coming out of that corner, because he did run a little bit uncharacteristically wide. But there is Teresa Babichkova not too far behind. Neither is Mika Barthélemy. Robbie Stauder. There's Babichkova up the inside of the Scotsman. Lachlan Robinson looking to make some places up the order, as it is 3 from Strawberry at the front end of the field, but it is all for themselves. There will be no team orders in karting unless it's absolutely required, but a few places being gained by several of the drivers. Lachlan Robinson So we've had a little bit of a coming together. That is the 357 and the 353. Atyom Sestakov's and Scott Westhoven's through turn 6. As now the field makes its way through into the right-hander at turn 10. 4 minutes and 20 seconds plus an additional lap. Babichkova giving chase. Tommy van der Soy's now behind Lewis Gilbert in 6th position. Just behind them, you've got Mika Barthélemy and Luke Neeson battling over position and real estate. And now Ethan Jeff Hall has got through on Matthew Higgins. Is he? No, he's not trying to put it round the outside through turn 4. Well, he tried through turn 3 on Austin Lee to get the race lead, but Austin Lee knew where to park the cart. If they keep this formation up and they start interchanging positions, what's going to happen as a direct correlation? Those behind will close on in. Case in point, 3:23, Teresa Babichkova is right with them. And then you look at the train behind, and it is a considerable one. Because Lewis Gilbert, Tommy van der Soy's, you give them an inch, they will take a country mile, as will any senior Rotax driver does. Now that's Babichkova up past Matthew Higgins. She's now up into 3rd place. 3 minutes and 10 seconds still to go, plus an additional lap. And there is a move. That is van der Sloy's up the inside of Gilbert, who blocks off the opportunity for Luke Neeson to get through on the 3:16 for KAF Motorsport. So this is getting rather interesting indeed. So, unfortunately, Jaden Teen, we did lose. He's watching by the sidelines, but he's got another race to come. So there's every opportunity for him to do some damage limitation and get himself into the top 30 for tomorrow, rather than having go through the second chance heat. Austin Lee continues to lead. Ethan Jeff Hall in 2nd. Teresa Babichkova in 3rd. 4th, it's now Tommy van der Soy's. Matthew Higgins now in 5th. Lewis Gilbert goes defensive ahead of Luke Neeson once again as Babichkova up the inside of Austin Lee. And, Tommy van der Soy's gets passed by Matthew Higgins through turn 2. And the 18-year-old from Trafalgar in Wales tries to get through on Austin Lee through the very next corner. Doesn't quite transpire. Great work by Lachlan Robinson. He's now up into what was, he started 15th. He's now in the top 10. Jamie Perilli having a better race this time around is just ahead of the 3:26 from KR Sports. Getting a little bit close for comfort there between van der Sloy's and Higgins once again. Van der Sloy's up into 4th place. Gilbert now looking for the opportunity to get past the 3:64. And there it goes. Luke Neeson looking also up the inside of Higgins, goes side by side. And might get the drag going into turns 1 and 2 as Babichkova now fighting with Jeff Hall to get the race lead. We only have a minute and a quarter plus an additional lap. And now this is bringing back in Austin Lee into the fray. It will also bring in Tommy van der Sloy's. Ethan Jeff Hall goes defensive and tight on the apex through turn 6. And now down into turn 7. Someone's going to try and outbrake the other. It's going to get a bit close. It did get a bit close, but Babichkova kept it going. That was a bit robust there from Tommy van der Sloy's on Austin Lee. And the 3:54 from the Netherlands gets through for 3rd place. Now Lewis Gilbert senses a wind of opportunity going his way because Austin Lee has got him right on his back bumper. And now through turn 12 once again, 30 seconds on the timer. 2 laps remain. Ethan Jeff Hall now leads. Teresa Babichkova, and then there's a bit of a dogfight between, that is Lee and Higgins. And Gilbert has started scarpering away from them. Through into turn 5 once again, now into 6. So Teresa Babichkova will have an opportunity. Does she have the waft down the straight? Very close indeed as Higgins looks up the inside of Austin Lee. That's a great move by the 3:64. Normally when I've seen him in senior Rotax has been the 3:75, but Luke Neeson nabbed that number before he did. And a little bit further back, there is still some great moves happening. Zach Scowler, new recruit to Yaz Heat Academy. with the Cosmic chassis running. And there's been a bit of a development now. Teresa Babičková was just passed by Tommy van der Soys, whether there might have been a little bit of robustness. And Ethan Jeff Hall now battling van der Soys as they were 8/100ths apart going on to the final lap. So any one of these at least 4, maybe 6 drivers could pick up the victory here, as now Lewis Gilbert slingshots up the inside through turn 4 on Babičková for 3rd place. And now Ethan Jeff Hall starting to defend against Tommy van der Soys. They are good friends off track. Now Babičková looks to the outside of Lewis Gilbert into turn 7 for the final time. Higgins is there. Lee is there. Top 6 now battling for the race victory in this 3rd heat out of 6. Oh, it's the domino effect nearly happened, but Ethan Jeff Hall manages to keep ahead. They're all swarming into turn 10. And it's going to get a bit close for comfort. Higgins keeps it pinned to the outside. There's the 305 of Mitch Haynett. But out of the final corner, it's going to be Ethan Jeff Hall, Tommy van der Soys and Lewis Gilbert that round out your top 3, with the 397 from Lancaster picking up a victory today. Teresa Babičková takes 4th, ahead of Matthew Higgins. Austin Lee rounds out the top 6 positions. Good work by Mitch Haynett and Zach Scowler. Mika Bartholomew and Thijs Dams round out the top 10. Mario Sidler, Devian Horst, Antoine Mahler, Hobby Sodder, Steen Scholten. Then we've got Kaz Boshaus, Christoph Saller. Good run for Chloe Canal this time. She finishes in 18th, ahead of Kamal Murad and Alexander Savinkov from the UK. Benoit Tordima, Janin Schultz, Iva Anagnostiidis, Rafael Jesus and Jamie Perilli round out the top 25. Gustav van Gogh, Tristan van Vliet, Andrea Kostic, Atjoms Sestakovs, Luke Neeson and Scott Westhovens round out the top 31. Simsep, Donis Johannes Dominguez were the last of the finishers. Unfortunately, Lachlan Robertson retiring on lap 6. Otto Caro on lap 2, and a technical problem with his engine. Jaden Thien retired down the Europlan on the opening lap.